Oh, there we go.
That's my baby. I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that? Oh, yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Hey guys, welcome to Spittin' Fire on Friday nights with Tarzan, Andrew, and myself. I hope everybody had a great week. I sure did. Did you, Destin?
Oh, yeah.
Destin's going on a business adventure, and so we're going to announce that soon. But the exciting news is that he's only 24, ladies, and he's already starting his entrepreneurship. So I'm really, really excited. Although my kitchen
Yeah,
is
fingers
really
crossed. We'll see
full
how it
of
goes.
idea of his. So, oh my goodness. How are you doing, Andrew?
Good. Just trying to stay warm. Out here it's cold.
Yeah, we did get a lot of snow here. We were supposed to, are we getting 6 more inches tomorrow?
I hope not.
I hope not either, because I tell you what, it's horrible.
We're all done with the snow. We're done with the snow and cold. Where's summer at?
But
I think that's where we at.
I know it's really cold out. It's like super cold, and I'm cold all the time anyway, and so when I go outside, it's like extra cold, and I'm the one who is at the gym with the coat on. Yeah, I wear my coat on
It's bad.
on the treadmill or the elliptical, trying to warm
It
up.
takes me
like
like 5 minutes to like feel okay, and then she's like doing the whole workout into it. An hour into it, she's still wearing the coat. I'm cold. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. Hey, Steve, am I supposed to read the Body Check Wellness? BodyCheckWellness.com promo code AT. Oh my God.
A2D for 20% off.
I'm not sure if I was supposed to read that yet, Steve.
That's BodyCheckWellness.com.
I'm learning my cues, you guys. Okay, there's cues and other
That's okay. You can never promote it enough.
I got the cue. Right. Listen, we'll go in more detail about that as well. But I do believe that we have our first guest on. Oh, wait. My poll question. Where is it?
Hi, Agnes.
So, the poll question tonight is, are athletes OnlyFan
pages taboo? Agree or disagree?
Are they taboo?
Yeah, should they or should they not have OnlyFan pages?
All right.
I say yes, go right ahead.
Our first question
Everybody get up.
tonight. But first, let's start with an introduction. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Jayme Adam Bomb Hinshaw.
Yeah, give her a second. She's gonna get it.
I got it. And KOTC Atom Weight World Championship. I'm really so sorry. I'm like tongue-tied tonight. So I'm just really excited to have my first female fighter on the show. We've had a female bodybuilder, so I'm really, really excited about having you on tonight, Jayme. And we have some awesome questions, starting with the poll question. What do you think about the OnlyFans page? Do you think you're going to start one?
I'm going to start one.
Have one?
Oh! Okay, so you're going to have to give me the 411 because
what's your OnlyFans?
I need to do one.
Yeah. I think if someone's comfortable doing it and whatever they're comfortable with, I don't mind it. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. There is something though you would have to like really think about when you're gonna get it is if your pictures are probably gonna get leaked. So only put out there what you're comfortable getting leaked, basically. So
I feel like these days they have access to everything. I could be taking nude photos of like that, and I've seen it all. I'm hearing terrible stories as of late, but yeah, I'm just so. How does that work? Now it was funny because Becky was telling me, my girlfriend Becky, and she said, I'm going to do an OnlyFans, but guess what? We have to pay taxes now.
Wait, what?
I said, well, you have to pay taxes
That's
on
the thing?
OnlyFans, baby.
Well, shoot, when they were making hundreds of thousands of dollars, like,
Is
Yes,
that-
you do actually have to do like a 1090 W-2 form and everything. So yes, you do get taxed on it. So
I was wondering what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, money.
is it worth having? Like, are you making that dough, girl?
I think so. I just barely started actually in
Really?
January, and it's going pretty good so far.
So, if I was
Oh.
okay, if I was a guy,
Oh.
like, how would you describe the page to get me to sign up?
Doesn't have to just be guys,
Yeah.
though. It could be girls.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes, there could be girls too.
Hey, we don't
Not all girls.
judge.
I just kind of basically put it out there, like pictures of me every day. Just basically your daily dose of atom bomb. If you want to come and see it, then go check it out.
Okay.
All
Well, there
right.
you go, guys. But she's married, so.
Oh,
I'm
damn,
saying.
damn. I see
Sorry,
how
fellas.
they ain't
Off the
right.
table.
I ain't going to
And she
it.
might beat your ass.
Right. I don't know.
That's what I call a keeper, though. You know, a woman that can kick your ass. You know, like,
So who
Get
wears
away.
the pants in the family? You or your husband?
Huh?
You or your husband?
Who-
Who wears the pants?
yeah,
in
who wears the
family?
pants?
You
She knows.
can
She
be
knows the
honest.
answer to this. She's trying to be, she's trying to be nice.
yeah, I guess it's both, I'll say.
Happy wife, happy life.
Right?
Oh my goodness. So how did he handle you wanting to fight and all those wonderful things? I'm sure he was like, oh my God, what am I thinking? Like, my wife is going to go fighting.
Well,
was he like that, or was he really supportive?
Well, he's actually really supportive, and I was always kind of a feisty kid, and he knew me when I was growing up, so he kind of knows that I like to fight anyway. So whenever I actually just I was 20-some years old, and I went into the gym, and it was the fighting gym. So a couple months after I tried out the boxing, and I was like, okay, I kind of don't like boxing. But I continued to do it, and I started to do MMA. I loved it. It was more like a street fight. He gets very nervous, though. I
Aw.
so bad because he gets all pale and everything, and I'm like,
Oh,
thing.
It's all good. It's like the reverse Adrian, right?
yeah.
It's like, no, don't go out there.
Yeah, I guess
Aw.
because no one really wants to see their spouse getting beat up or
Yeah.
punched in the face or kicked, or you know what I mean. But
It's gotta be tough just kind of sitting there and just like watching that. Like,
So-
okay.
What do you think about the whole allowing the transgender to fight or take part or participate in female sports? What do you think about that? I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's right.
I don't think it's fair at all. I know us women, we're strong, you know what I mean, and we do spar with the guys and everything, but it's different. Like, we're made different. Guys, it doesn't matter what you do, like, they're physically made different and they're stronger than us. Like, if you got a female and a male and did the same thing and had like a test, you know what I mean, and had them do the same stuff, I'm pretty sure a guy would still be stronger. So yeah, I think that it's not cool.
Yeah, we kind of. What did you say last time we had this topic? I think it's from you coming from a bodybuilder perspective. I mean, we were talking about how men are made genetically different, and there's just no way to reverse that.
Yeah. I mean, even in bodybuilding, you've seen there's been special cases where guys have went over to the women's division, and they had a change, and they're like, okay, I'm gonna be a woman bodybuilder now, and it's like it's not even, it's like night and day. It's not even the same. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. There's women bodybuilders out there that are huge, but when you get like somebody who's been a guy bodybuilder who just already has the muscle and maxed out to the the highest level possible, and then he switches over to like a level below. It's like, come on, it's not right.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why a lot of it's like you said, it's kind of not fair. It's trying to raise the bar more to where us as women, we're not going to be able to get that high. You know what I mean? Because it, like I said, it's not a level playing field. It's not fair. So
No.
I hope more women protest this. I really do, because I hate that whole like stigmatism that comes with it. It's like, no, that you don't understand genetics. It's completely different. And when we watched Fallon Fox, I mean, the way that person handled who he was fighting, I mean, she had blood everywhere. She had to have stitches. She had reconstructive surgery. That's just too much, and it's going too far at that point.
I agree.
So hopefully more ladies in MMA and combat sports will be like, hell no.
Right.
No, and I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some women out there that can, there's some strong ass women. Like they're the top of the food chain for women, and they can probably take on most men. But that's not little everybody. Men, that's not everybody. Not everybody can do that. There's those rare few that are just like super women.
So tell us a little bit about how you got into fighting. What made you, or what got your interest in fighting?
Like I said, I was taking care of my niece, and well, she's my daughter. And we went to a gym just to kind of let her try out a Fit Kids program. And she's like, can you work out with me? And I was like, okay, because I was like 140 pounds and I wasn't really happy with myself. So I was like, sure, I'll start working out with you. And like I said, it was a fighting gym. So I was like doing boxing, kickboxing, and jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And within a couple months, I like lost 20 pounds quick. And we would spar with the guys and everything, and I was like, I kind of want to try this professionally, because I fought on the streets before, and I used to fight for fun whenever I was younger, you know what I mean, just because where I grew up. But so I was like, oh, I want to try this, you know what I mean, like I'm really not getting in trouble for wanting to fight. So like I said, I tried a couple amateur boxing, and I got kind of nervous for that, and I didn't like really care for it. So I was like, I'm not gonna do that no more. And I just continued to train, and then I was all like, I told my coach one day, I was like, I think I'm ready to try MMA. And they supported me, and they helped me get ready. And my first fight, I didn't get nervous at all. I got like kind of excited. I was like, yes. And I beat the girl in the first round. Like I think most of my amateur ones, except for my last one, I only took it to the first round. And I couldn't get fights there for like almost a year. I was inactive just because girls would pull out, or they wouldn't want to fight me just because of my record.
They knew who was coming. They're like, oh no, we're gonna take a step back. Maybe next time.
Yeah. So I kind of had to, like, if I wanted to continue fighting, the next step was just to go pro, because I wasn't, like I said, I couldn't get no fights. So I stepped up and I made my pro debut in 2016, like the day before my birthday. Kind of sucked because I didn't win. But, it was a fun experience, and I love it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a natural high when you're in there. And you have like this feeling afterwards for like a whole day. You know what I mean? Where you're just like high off life, and you just feel so good, and you're just wanting to chase it again. So you're like, when's the next time we could get back in there? So
I'm sure you can relate to that feeling, right, Andrew? Because you fought.
Yeah, you get that, anxious. Now, I don't know, you got some weird blood where you're excited. I still get, I get not nervous, but I understand, the outcomes that can happen, and I prepare myself. But yeah, it's nice to go in there, and if you feel comfortable and excited and you're smiling, like if I'm in there and my opponent's smiling, I'm like, oh shit, like this person's not nervous, they're nice and loose, ready to do it. That's what's up. But is your niece/daughter gonna follow in your footsteps?
I don't want her to.
Okay.
She has done like jujitsu competitions before, but she did want to, right before the coronavirus thing, she wanted to do like the pancreas fights. And I was like so nervous, and my husband, he's like, let her try it, let her do it. They have headgear, they have like shin pads and everything, and I'm like, but still, I don't want her to do that, and especially if she likes it like me, you know what I mean? I'm like, I would be the outsider, like getting all nervous because I don't want to see my baby getting hurt. Like, I don't want no one hitting my baby. Even if she wins, you know what I mean? I'd still probably be all pissed off and like get mad at her opponent. So
I understand that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I promoted a lot of kids, and I had to ask the parents, I'm like, how? And it was interesting because when I first started, they weren't allowing the kids to have that type of contact. And so then it progressed into, okay, now we're going to allow them to fight like the big boys and girls and a cage and everything. And I'm like, is that nerve-wracking?
At what age is this? What age is this still with headgear, or is it?
Was 13? It was somewhere in those.
Was this still with like protection and everything, or no?
No, this was
okay.
This was just full blown,
Oh, shit.
Gloves,
so
and
kids
regular gear like the adults.
Shit out of
so yeah, I didn't like it, and some of the parents didn't, but they still participated in it. So I don't even know. I was sick for 8 years, so I don't even know where that went or how far it went before somebody said, "No, I don't really want my kids to be fighting in a cage."
Yeah.
Like,
I can see that. I feel like that's something, they like one fight maybe just to kind of see like, okay, this is what it's going to be like, when you get to like a certain level or a certain age, if you want to explore this route, this is what you could be facing, but like for so young.
Yeah, they're still developing too. So
that's exactly why I don't. It's like their little brains getting hit.
Yeah.
Is like it's not good. I don't think for them. It's not good for us.
Yeah.
I mean, let alone a growing brain. Like they're babies. I've seen these kids and like small kids going at each other with the kickboxing and the boxing in the amateur fights, and some of these kids, they're aggressive, and like I'm all like
Mm-hmm.
I do not want some.
I know a few kids like that.
I'd have been crying at that age.
Running out the ring.
I couldn't have done it. There's just no way. I would never have you in a cage. Like I couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't.
Because I've seen so many like accidents in adults and lead into like serious injury, and it's like no, because that could happen with the kids. And yeah, you just can't do it.
Yeah, and anything can happen, you know what I mean? And that's kind of the chance we take when we, we step up in that ring or cage. It is.
It's a big risk when you go in there. You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Break bones and all that fun stuff and cuts and everything.
But I feel like that has to be like the worst thing to happen, right? You break a bone in there and you're like, fuck. Like, what do you do? Do you have to like?
Broke your ankle.
No.
Like when you break a bone in the middle of a fight, do you have to like stop it or like?
That's the worst.
Like, do you say to stop it?
It's up to the fighter, really. I broke my arm in a title fight, and I actually won that one. The chick, she kicked me pretty hard, and like in the first round, and I felt something was wrong. Whenever I went to go hit her, I felt something move, and I was like, oh shoot, you know what I mean? But the commission's right there, so you don't want to make a big scene, or else they're gonna call the fight. And I whispered to my coach, it's like my arm, and she's like, well, we're already here. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna quit now? Or in there? And I'm like, fuck. fuck this. We're gonna.
It's already broke. What do you do?
Yeah.
Come on.
I had to still use the thing, and I got kicked in it a couple times too, because I didn't want either her or her corner to kind of realize something was wrong with my arm. So I was still kind of throwing it out there, but not like as I wanted to.
Yeah.
And it went to the 4th round, and we went to the ground, and I choked her out with it. And
You choked her out with your broken arm?
You got up and the arm just like flopped to the side.
They didn't really even believe me at first, like, because right after the fight, the doctors come in and see you, and they're like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I was like, "My arm, it's kind of like, I think my arm's broke." And they like, "Oh, let me feel it." And then they started messing with it, and I'm like, "Ow, that hurts." You know what I mean? Like the adrenaline's come off. And then they actually had someone that was training, and they're all like, "Here, come and feel it." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, can you just leave my arm alone? I told you it hurts." But I ended up having to, pack my bags and everything and take the flight home. And as soon as I got home, I told my husband, I was like, "I can't go home yet. Let's go straight to the doctor." I was like, "I need to make sure that my arm's okay because it's killing me." And yeah, that's when they told me, they were like, "Yeah, it's broke." And I had to have surgery, and I have a pretty plate in there now. So.
Oh, so now you're getting some real good form.
Right?
It sucks because sometimes.
Do you get nerve damage?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Like, it feels a little weird by the scar, but everywhere else is fine.
She has a robotic arm.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that worries
hurt
me the most. Like when they put plates and screws in, you get nerve damage sometimes. And
yeah, he broke his ankle.
Yeah.
You want to tell her the story of how he broke your ankle?
Yeah. So I thought I was gonna be a cheerleader at one point. So I was talking to one of my friends who just so happens to be a cheerleader, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you could do it. You could do everything we could do," because I was in good shape at the time. And so he talks me into doing backflips, so I can practice. Practice. Yeah. He's like, I got you. You know how like they'll assist you with the backflip or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna trust you. So I got through like 2 or 3 of them. They were okay. That fourth, the very last one, went and did the backflip. Landed on no, it wasn't off the bleachers. This was on mats. So we're thinking it's like really safe. We're thinking it's really safe. So I go and land on the mat. I literally I plant with one leg, my right leg, and then next thing I know, it twists, and then I hear this loud pop, and it's like a snap off to the side. So it twists, like my ankle just twists around, and then the bone just pops here.
Ow. So it popped out? Yeah,
it part of it popped out, and then I actually fractured that. What was it, the fibula or the tibia? The smaller of the 2 bones in your lower leg. Yeah, that was not fun. I try to get up like it was nothing. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I took a step, and then I fell over to the side. I'm like, I'm not good.
Man down.
Yeah, my
he
friend
actually had to have the pinch. What was it?
Yeah.
Is it the? What was it? The screws.
Yeah,
I had to have taken out.
I had 12 screws and a plate put in, and I had to have them taken out because I thought I was going to go to the military, and then I had second thoughts about that. So taking it out was way worse than putting it in. This doesn't sound right. But
they've told me too that if later on, if I wanted to, I could take it out. But like I said, where the screws go and stuff, that would have to heal and everything. I'm like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. Like just take her like, ow, what'd you say, girl?
See, that was horrible though. Like, because every time something touched my ankle, it would like you would hit like the screw or something, and it would hurt like.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, I gotta take this shit out. Nope.
Yeah, there's certain little spots and stuff. Like there was this one spot where I could kind of feel a little thing, and my husband, he likes to mess with it. I'm like, don't
stop touching it.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I'd puke.
I mean, you're getting something. Something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So how did you balance it all? So you're fighting, you're training, you're a mom, you're a wife.
You had been really
You got,
exhausted and tired.
An OnlyFans page. Like, how do you manage it all, girl?
I don't know. I think it would be a
You're so
lot
good at
more
that.
tough if my little one wasn't was little right now, but she's already going to be 14.
Wow.
Yeah, so that helps a lot. I don't have to like baby her too much and stuff like that. So she helps out with the house and everything, and I don't have, like I said, I don't have to be like up her butt and just be like carrying her. So that helps out a lot, and she trains with me as well. So
Does she really? So she'll know some protection, how to protect herself, because there's some crazies in this world. That's something I wish I had done with my daughter and had her trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
That's what we should all done. We should all, hopped in there early. And at that point, when you started going into
they all
MMA,
can defend themselves that way.
Yeah, we all will like die because we can't fight.
That's not true. Destin is a sharp shooter.
She didn't pre-plan. Think about this.
Let me tell you, he is
if I got a gun, I'm good.
Firing a gun.
Yeah. Or I'll go off of like what my trainer says, chop him in the throat or some shit, and then so that they can't breathe. He can't breathe. Quickly, run away.
poke him in the eyes.
Yeah, there you go.
She's actually kind of a little bit bigger than me now, and she's a little bit taller. So
you gotta look up to her.
Yeah, she
I still kick your ass.
Yeah, that's exactly. I try to tell her that too, like, because sometimes there's another parent that's always kind of trying to egg her, like, oh, watch, one of these days, if you keep at it, you're gonna be able to kick her butt. And I'm all like, don't you be telling me. And then I look at her and I'm all like, you already know that. But even if you're bigger than me, I don't care.
Oh, that's funny.
So, that's funny.
Hey,
you gotta love those daughters.
give it enough time, right? She's gonna get, even more feistier.
Yeah, she's already, like I said, she's a teenager, so she's, has that teenage attitude. But I'm actually pretty lucky because she's not too bad of a kid, and she doesn't get in trouble or anything like I used to. So
that's good. It's good. Hard. It's hard for the kids now. Oh my gosh.
Well, that kind of leads into something else. Did you have any interest in MMA before you joined? Did you have a troubled childhood? Were you fighting?
I kind of come from a broken home, and I lived in Albuquerque in the South Valley, and I'm kind of like the little white girl, you know what I mean? So I'm kind of the minority, so I got picked on a lot, and my family, we have a lot of cousins and stuff, and when we were little, we just kind of would fight for fun or just because we were bored. You know what I mean? So we would get in fights with each other just to for entertainment, or go off, and if someone, called us something that we didn't really like, we would fight. It was just kind of always in my blood. I loved to fight, like I said, and defend myself. And it's kind of, I used to watch MMA before too, but I never thought that I would actually be a fighter myself. I was like, I never even thought of that until I actually stepped into the gym and thought it that
I can make a living off this.
So yeah.
Is there anyone that you want to fight? Doesn't matter. Any female fighter. I want to know.
If you could,
If
take
there's
your shots
someone,
now.
anybody, you could pick anybody. Who would you want to fight?
I get that question. I don't care. Whoever they want to put in front of me. That's always what I say. It's like, I don't really care who it is. Just give me someone.
How about more so not that you might be on their level, but even like a legend or a superstar? It'd be fun to be in a ring with a karate hottie because she all these kicks and shit, or this or that.
I actually I fought Bean Nguyen twice. I beat her the second time, and that was for it was a title fight. and Karate Hottie was actually in our corner.
Oh, there you go. Look at that.
Awesome.
Ain't that something?
Her, I think, I don't know. I wouldn't mind fighting someone like her, but she's a little bit heavier than me, so I'd have to put on a little bit of muscle for that one.
A girl UFC fighter you look up to or you like their style?
See, and that's just a thing.
Or maybe not even UFC, just in general. Just
a lot of people. I don't really follow.
Laura Croft, Tomb Raider.
I don't like that girl, you know, off of all these fighters because I know they're just regular people, just like me. But El Kukui, I love his style and just the way he is, just his personality and stuff. So Tony Ferguson. So,
Oh, the boogeyman.
yeah. So,
Yeah,
I like how he like sits there like before the fights and he can eat steak and all this stuff and people get all pissed off at him because, you know, they're all like, you're supposed to be cutting weight, and they're all like, how can you do that? And he's like, I work my ass off. And that's the same like with me whenever people like would talk crap to me whenever I'm in fight camp and it's very close and I'm sitting there and I'll order me a hamburger or a cheeseburger and I'm like, I don't care, I can do it and I'm still gonna make weight and I bust my ass. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't know.
Would you ever do bare knuckle?
I actually was contacted a while back ago about bare knuckle. I was excited, but my coaches and everything, they're all like, right now, that's kind of more like a end of your career type thing. They're all like, you know, they're all like, I know you want to, because I was like, it's more like a street fight. Like I want to try it. Like I think I'll be good at it. And they're all like, but you're kind of still like, you know, pretty and stuff. So they're all like, you want to do it? Wait until the end of your fight career. So I was like, I guess that makes sense. So
what you trying to say? I'm gonna get ugly?
Man, that
and
fight
I don't know why, because well, I guess it's bare knuckle, but like anything could happen even in an MMA fight. Like I said, I've gotten stitches, I've gotten cuts, broken bones and everything like that. So I don't really see a difference.
All right, I gotta ask, what's your favorite move?
All
the boys
Oh,
in the
yeah,
yard want
let's
to know
be
what your favorite move is. So, what's your favorite move?
I don't know. Apparently, I think it would be taking someone's back and choking them out. That's mostly.
That's awesome.
Whenever I win, it's usually by submission, and that's how it happens. So.
You got no wrestling background or something like that? You just straight went to a jiu-jitsu and learned it from there?
Yeah, that's the thing. I was unfortunate as a child, and I was never got to be in any type of sports. Like I wanted to be go in gymnastics and stuff because I always thought that was pretty cool. But like I said, didn't have the funds for it. So whenever I was 20-some years old, like 23, I believe, whenever I stepped into the gym. And that's whenever I kind of just started training and I learned everything from FITNHB. So, yeah. Most of these people that I fight have had, you know, actually either jiu-jitsu or wrestling, like you said, or something like that in their background. And as they were kids growing up doing it. But me, no, I wasn't able to do that. So.
Yeah, I wrestled like 15, 16 years of my life, so it was just the perfect transition into MMA. So some people have it. I mean, especially nowadays, the way that people are growing up, I mean, these kids are starting to be elite young. I mean,
yes,
like you said, you're seeing these kids spar, and you're like, oh, man. Like, I don't know if I want to spar that 11-year-old. Like, what the hell? So it's a different world nowadays. So props to you for not having that background because it does help. It really does.
Yeah,
So,
that's actually
hard work.
My first pro debut was against a very great wrestler, Alicia Zapatella, and she's actually almost went to the Olympics, and she was an active wrestler, and that's how she beat me because just taking me down. So yes, it wrestling, I think it's a big help with everything, and that's actually, I think, the most toughest on your body whenever we're training for it is wrestling. Wrestling's the one that I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what, you're never gonna get used to it.
It's not
and you're
easy.
gonna not be sorry. So, like just the other day, I was wrestling and my toe. I don't even know how because I had shoes on, but one of my toenails got ripped. I'm like, oh, that kind of hurt, but I had to tape it up and continue class.
Yeah, no.
He said no, it's not happening.
That's the perks with the no shoes, on the mat and stuff. So.
Yeah. Ow. Did you find your toenail?
Did you find it? Did you try to reattach it?
No, it didn't do too bad. It just got a little short and it bled a little bit. Not too bad. I actually, one time before I had to go fly out for a fight, I was just doing movement with someone and they didn't cut their toenails. And their toenail went right underneath mine and lifted up my big toenail. And that was first. And it went all, like I could lift up my toenail all the way up to the and I ended up having I cut half of the toenail off before the fight, and then for weigh-ins and everything, it was whenever I fought B win the first time, and I didn't want no one to see my toe because I was like, oh shoot. So in weigh-ins and everything, I had shoes on, but in the fight, my tape and stuff came off my toe and it started being crazy and it lifted up again. So I after the fight, I had to rip the whole thing off.
Grab some pliers and shit. That's some soft shit.
No.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that hurt. I'd rather have gotten punched more in the face than to do that.
I can feel my toe hurt.
Well, let's take the time to tell anybody watching, if you're a teamate or a partner,
groom
yourself. Groom the nails, make sure you don't, just try to have some courtesy. So,
right.
It happens, but you try to,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I've never had that one. I've been cut by a nail, but not that.
Yeah.
Did it grow back?
Yeah, it grew back. Perfectly fine. It just took a while.
Half a year.
I've had both of my pinky nails ripped off too during wrestling, and that was my fault though, because I wasn't wearing shoes. You know what I mean?
Just keep them off. Just take off the nails, the pinky toenails. You're not supposed to have.
The pinky ones weren't bad though. They didn't hurt. It's just the sensation, the feel of not having the nail. You know what I mean?
It's more so bad than just knowing you don't have a nail. What is that? So yeah.
I'm all when air and stuff hits it because it's not used to having that. So it felt that sensation is really weird.
The good thing during fights you have adrenaline, so might not feel it, but once adrenaline wears off or you're in practice, you're not necessarily all amped up and whatever. Yeah, no, you feel 100% of that pain, and you're like, yeah. Coach, I'm done. I don't need to do sprints. I don't need to do.
I'm gonna sit down for a second.
Oh my god, how long did you still train like that? Or did you wait a couple days?
Coach said you better get up. You better go. You
No pain, no gain.
Wrap it up and
No
let's
pain,
go.
no gain.
Your next round.
Yeah, usually after a fight, depending on how injured we are, we usually take about a week or two off and then go back into training just so that
sometimes you get suspended.
Oh yeah, well
Really?
yeah, most of the times you get suspended for 30 days or whatever.
Did you get anything for your broken arm, or was that amateur or still?
No, that was for pro, and they told me that I was suspended until I got a medical clearance, and that sucked because, that's the doctor trying to dictate when you get to fight, and it's out of your control, and I hated that.
Because you're not supposed to train and all that, right?
Yeah, and that's
So you can't.
They got mad at me because the day I was supposed to get my cast taken off, I told them, I was like, oh, okay, so now I could punch with it. And he was like, oh, no. So he probably never cast. on me and made me have a cat for a little bit longer because he's all like, "No, you're stubborn. I already know that you're gonna hit with it."
Yeah.
So, because I'm
Yeah.
in the gym, like using my other hand and everything like that. But as soon as that cast came off, yeah, I was light punching, and it kind of sucked there for a while because it was so sensitive. Just it hurt to punch, you know what I mean? And I had to get that sensitive, like that back, you know what I mean? Where it didn't hurt, because there for a while, like it sucked, and I was like, oh shit, like am I gonna be able to do this again? And like, is it gonna hurt like this forever? And I kind of got down on myself there for a little bit, but as soon as it stopped hurting, I was like, yes, I'm back.
I have a question to ask, and okay, so I've heard mixed things. I have friends that are fighters, and I have it just seems to be like the common locker room question, like, okay, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, but I have to ask, like, most athletes get in the zone right before their fight. So, like, do you allow for, sex to occur before your fight, or... I'm just curious.
I knew that was coming up.
I don't know, like, does it change your mental game? Does it? I don't know. Like, not to be personal.
Yeah.
I'm just.
I've heard a lot of athletes trying to say, to stay away from it and stuff, and I've heard it in the movies, but no, I do.
It's not a big thing or not, right?
It doesn't destroy the game or your mental game for the fight,
It really gets you amped up, right?
But usually, whenever I fight, I usually don't fight at home. So I go out a couple days before my fight, and my husband does stay at home to take care of my daughter and everything. So I guess I'm not doing it for a couple days before the fight, but yeah.
Not like by choice or like because you have to, just because you're out.
Yeah,
but it's not like it's not like how I have to or not. I know Rousey used to. I mean, I knew people that worked out with her.
Really?
It's just a myth, but that she used to a lot. But like I said, then I heard it the other way. Like, hey, don't do any of that. Takes your energy or whatever it may be. So. Hey, you know what? Whatever, man. Maybe it gets a smile on your face afterwards.
That's why you walk in the ring all happy, like, wait, what?
And I don't know if it's the same for women, because I think they tell the guys that because of their testosterone, I believe.
Oh.
But it's like, are you gonna have it in the sex in the locker room before? Like, you gotta come hours before. And
how long does it take to replenish testosterone? I guess that's the next subject of next week.
Isn't most people want to have fun and then go to sleep? It's not like you want to have fun and go. Come on.
After sex, I feel like fighting someone. Like, damn, how does it like?
I'm gonna take a quick nap, then we'll do that.
Yeah.
So,
I was just always curious, and I mean, it was like the talk. We would have these conversations.
Where'd you get this question?
I don't know, but some people would be like, no, absolutely not. No, it would destroy my mental game. It's like, oh, okay. But what if you really want to and you're just, okay, never mind. That's another subject for another day.
And on that topic, have you ever got nervous before a fight? I mean, I know some people that take a shot, just like a half shot of vodka or something, and it kind of calms the nerves down and stuff. So, not that it's your choice, or I know some people might want to smoke, but nothing like that. You just don't get nervous.
No, I don't get nervous, but I do pee a lot. So I think my husband, he's like, I think that's your nervous tick. He's like, even though you don't feel like you're nervous, but you're peeing a lot. So he's like, that has to be your thing. But no, I've actually seen some guy one time drinking right after weigh-ins and right before, and I was like, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Yeah, no, I wouldn't take a shot of
I had a teammate, he was
the liquor until after the fight. And most of the time they drug test us, and we're especially the champions, they always get drug tested. So yeah, there's no
now that weed's legal, is that something that they test for still?
Yes, they still test for it. You can still get in trouble even if you have your card. So
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
so it's not worth it to me. Like I'll quit before and stuff and be clean so
No.
that I don't have to. You
Is
know
it
what I
what-
mean?
you gotta like quit like you gotta quit like a month ahead of time or something like that, right? Because it stays in the system for a
I
while,
think
right?
it's like third.
Depends on
Yeah,
what you
I
smoke.
don't know. Steve
Yeah.
would know about this subject.
and it just depends, I think, more or less how much you smoke. And us, we're waterlogging ourselves a lot, and
Okay.
we have to drink at least a gallon a day. And whenever we're going for right before weigh-ins and stuff, like a couple days before, we'll drink a shit ton of water,
Yeah.
and then like deprive ourselves from food and water for at least like 24 hours before weigh-ins. And I think that kind of helps flush you out too. So
Okay.
I think that helps.
That's a
You
lot
know,
of water and a lot of peeing.
It's kind of like peak week in a way, or like bodybuilders. You know, we're just slamming water, like guzzling it for a whole
Yeah.
week, and just to get rid of all that water weight, all that extra water.
It's
Exactly.
so horrible.
It's not fun.
Jamie.
It's yeah. So
horrible.
I don't know how
Go
much
through it.
I don't know how much water you got to drink, but for me it was like 2 gallons in a day, and that was extremely difficult to do. I wanted food more than anything else. Like,
Yeah. Sometimes like one time someone had told me, they're like, you need to drink a little bit more, you need to drink 2 gallons. And I was like, I'm too little for it. And then I almost made it, but I started to feel like kind of delirious, you know what I mean, with it. And I'm like, nope, this is not like, that was too much water for me. I was like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
So I know my limits, but I drink at least, I try to drink a gallon a day just on a normal day-to-day basis. And people kind of look at me weird because I'll carry a gallon of water with me.
yeah, that
No,
seems
And
like the
that's helping-
easiest
that's
way.
helping you flush all the toxins out and keeping yourself hydrated. I mean, as
Yeah.
much as you probably train.
And it sucks. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not big on water.
It'll taste like nothing.
Because it tastes like nothing.
Except if you're
But
working
I'll drink
after-
it because I have to. Like it's just one of those things you can't just like replace it with like 0-calorie pop or anything like that. It's
The
It's
face
one of
that
those things
doesn't
you have
make
to.
what you
Well,
have to
well,
drink.
if you don't like it, haven't you tried like amino acids, like the flavor things, or
yeah.
like
I'll put it in
lemon,
with cheesecakes or
strawberries in it, or even oranges and just lemon and limes and just different types of stuff like that, just to
And
make it
infusing the
Oh, yeah,
water.
lemons. I
Yeah,
love lemon
like-
and limes.
cucumbers and stuff like that. Like that's how I have to do it sometimes. If I get like tired of the water, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so boring. So I'll throw in, like I said, some lemons and strawberries and make like strawberry lemonade type. You know what I mean? Try to make
So good.
Something for some flavor.
yeah, a little something there.
Flavor.
Yeah, and like as sports and wellness, I never thought about putting oranges in the water until I went over there, and I was like, oh, this is actually kind of good. So like, yeah, there's a lot of different things you could do to mix up to make your water not so boring.
All right. Hey, so I had like a very weird question. I remember watching.
Weirder
I can't-
than the sex.
Well, it's not that weird. It's not that weird.
that
It's not
bad.
like left field weird, but I was always curious, and it was always something that I wonder if it was like true or not. Is it harder for a wrestler to learn how to punch, or is it harder for a boxer to learn how to wrestle? What did you find that was more difficult between the two?
For me, I actually jiu-jitsu was something that I took and I was comfortable with, and it, like even my coaches and stuff, they're all like, you kind of, that was your nick, you know what I mean? Like kind of, it just happened natural for me. Punching was harder for me to learn to do. But I think it just depends on the person, honestly.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
I was
You
kinda
see a lot
curious
of,
about
if a boxer or something comes into UFC, more like kind of like James Toney versus Randy Couture, they're going to take him down. That's a smart thing. And a lot of them can't get up. But like you said, it depends on person. But then you get like an All-American wrestler like, Michael Chandler that just fought Hooker. And they don't really have that sharpest like bob and weave, but they got that overhand right that just
Okay, I got you.
Throw it
Like
if
a
they miss
haymaker
right to a
almost.
takedown. So, like you said, you grasped the ground game and it became comfortable to you. Some people, they just they don't want to train the ground. They just like Chuck Liddell. He didn't want to learn jiu-jitsu or anything. He just learned how to get up. His average time was like 13 seconds on the ground. He knew he didn't want to be there, so he got his ass up. So I think you're right. It just depends on the person, but yeah, it's a challenge. You just got to embrace it, kind of like you embraced the ground game, and it could really take you far.
Yeah, and
We do submissions now, and you're not even a wrestler. It's like, what are you doing? You know. So
I think if you're gonna be in MMA, even if you don't like typically, like you said, some people don't like the ground and stuff, and they won't want to train it. Like, it doesn't matter if you don't like it or not. There's probably going to be a situation where you're going to be put in there, and if you don't train it, then you're going to be like, what the heck's going on and what do I do? And kind of panic or not know what to do from there. So it's nice to, like I said, just train it all and make sure that you have an answer for it. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to get lucky in the thing or have something happen to you for the first time in that cage. You know what I mean? And not have an answer for it.
And these wrestlers are persistent. If they want that takedown, they'll shoot 27 times a fight. I swear. Khabib, he's gonna give up. He gets you. He's gonna, and when they get you, then it's like, then you feel like a boa constrictor. You're just wrapping you up, and you feel smothered, and it's like, oh shit. So, like you said, you just at least gotta get up. You at least gotta work your way back to your feet.
Yeah, and like you said, the wrestlers are gonna keep on, and it's in their mentality, like stuck in their mental to keep shooting, you know what I mean, and to keep doing it to get that takedown. And if you can keep shutting down their takedowns and keep getting back up, it might discourage them.
Yeah, break them a little bit. Yep.
And it might not. It just depends. Like you said, you don't know, but usually if they're really good at wrestling and you're not, and you could keep on stuffing their shots, it's gonna take a toll on them. You know what I mean? It's gonna make them think about their game plan, and they're gonna switch it up a little bit, and then they're gonna mess up, and that's when you capitalize on it.
You know it, girl. That's why she said I'm the champion. What you want? Oh yeah.
So what do you got planned this year?
I need to get my ass back into fighting shape. But I'm going back to the gym and everything. And like I said, as soon as I feel like I could do a practice without feeling that I'm gonna kind of die, then I'm gonna try to ask for a fight. Where I would love to actually go back to Japan. I love their you could up kick and everything like that. It's kind of something.
I heard
everyone
so
says it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone says it's like the best, one of the best places you could possibly go to.
Yes, it's very beautiful, and everyone's so nice over there too. It's like so different. It's a very new and good experience, actually. I believe if anyone wants to travel and they have their passport and they have the means, I would tell them, like, yes, go to Japan. It's awesome. Like I said, I can't wait.
And then
the
also
people there are really nice.
Fighting, like in the UFC, get a good punch or kick, and it's not for all of them, but we'll scream, punch him. Over there, you can hear like a pin drop. I mean, they're really focused, a lot,
Okay.
Maybe not everyone, like I said, but they focus and they're there to watch.
Is it more of like a respect thing? Is that why they're like so okay, we're on?
Yeah, it kind of is. And I've heard that too, but I think actually whenever I had fought, we had fought at the biggest arena, and it was for the Fedor and what's it called?
Oh,
Rampage.
Yes, that was a big one.
Yeah, I was on that card, and it seemed like the crowd, they weren't as quiet. They were cheering a lot more. So, but I kind of like, I don't know, it's weird. Whenever I'm about to walk out, I like get in a zone and I just focus on the cage and my opponent, and I kind of don't hear what's going on. Like a lot of people, they're all like, "What was your walkout song?" or "How whatever."
I don't know.
I don't know.
No. It's like I couldn't hear that. I wasn't focusing on that.
I got something.
Hey, we've got a couple more minutes
What?
until we have
the-
the arrival of our next two guests. How can we find you, Jayme, for all of our A2D audience out there who may want to check you out?
On your OnlyFans
I was
too.
gonna say that.
Yeah, put the OnlyFans up there, didn't I?
Make that money.
You could find me on Instagram. That's where I'm mostly active, at Hinshaw J. And in my bio, there's a link, and it has like all like my links to my OnlyFans, my Twitter, and I believe my Facebook. Not too sure about that.
Wait, that's the link tree, right? I just learned about that. I was like, oh my God, you can put all your links together. Here you go, guys. One link.
Oh.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's awesome. I just learned that myself. My girlfriend's like, why
I didn't know that was
do you
a
have
thing.
link tree? And I'm like, wow, I really feel outdated.
Do you know that was a thing?
It's amazing.
I've seen it on a lot of other people's platforms, and that's kind of where I was like, oh, okay, let me click on that. And
This is what I do.
That's smart.
So how do they find you on your OnlyFans? I guess just type in your name.
I
Go to
guess
Instagram and
go
then
to either my Instagram or on my Twitter or even on my Facebook like page. I think in my bio there's the link there, and you'll be able to click it and everything.
You have to give me a couple of those tips on how to do that, because maybe I might want to do it.
she's gonna sell some feet
You
pictures.
I'm
said,
gonna sell my toe pictures.
yeah, I'm just gonna have feet up there, foot porn.
There's people that'll buy it.
It's weird because I've had a lot of people on my Instagram want like content of my feet and everything. And then I went to the OnlyFans. I thought that they would follow there, and they're actually not on my OnlyFans. And I'm like, where are you at?
Right. Now I got it. Come on.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, thank you so much for you coming on, Jayme. We would love to have you on again if that we
Yeah,
just
you were
love to have you.
awesome.
You were awesome. Oh my gosh, you were so fun. I knew it by stalking your page today. Yes, I saw. I was like, look at how cute and adorable she is. This is going to be a really fun interview with her. I saw your videos and was like, oh, she's pretty. Oh, I got to know all these things. What's going on with her? Because she's a fighter and she looks good. Oh my gosh, how do you do it? I can't do it. I try really hard.
That's
But we
pretty
would love to
amazing.
have you on again. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'm so excited, looking forward to what you do in the future. We'll hear from you soon, I can feel it. I can feel it.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast.
You're very welcome. You have a good weekend.
All right, you too. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. We're going to take a short break. That would be a
Intermission.
Justin potty break.
No, it's more like her break.
Baby
Yeah, she
mine.
gotta pee.
But I have to tell you about the wellness.com. I had a whole spiel for it, and I, for some reason, can't seem to find it. But I wanted to let you guys know that the wellness, if you use the A2D code, you get 20% off. Bodycheckwellness.com, promo code A2D for 20% off. I had a whole nice spiel about it, and I don't know what happened to it in my iPhone. So we're going to get that again, and we're going to try it again. But we're going to take a break, okay?
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that? Oh yeah!
What the fuck are you talking about?
What? Oh, wait a minute. See, we're still breaking.
Let's see. We got some people that mentioned some things.
Yeah, I don't even.
John Jones with a nasty toe injury. Yeah, he was looking forward. His big toe was pointing to the left. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
With that one. Weed, yes. Weed and
Wasn't it Anderson Silva, too, where he had like that?
Yeah, maybe, but he also broke his leg on that.
Hi, somebody's upside down. Robert, you're upside down.
Has it got me upside down?
It's got you upside down. We have an upside down Robert.
How about now? Is that better?
Much better. No, you're you're sideways now.
What happened? I wanna-
He's trying to get his shit to go straight.
Oh shit!
Hi, you're sideways.
Turn.
Oh, shit.
You're back
Wait a
upside
minute.
down again.
Is your phone right
So
side
now,
up?
wherever that is, completely turn.
Yeah,
it.
flip that. Flip it.
180. 180.
Yeah. Wait. There we go.
There we go.
Watch
Wait,
the phone
wait,
be
you're
like
getting there.
sideways or something.
Keep going. Wait, where are
He's
you?
like, what you
Wait,
mean? I
you're
gotta do it like this?
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry. Oh, I just want to say welcome to the show. We have Robert Morrow. Am I saying it correctly? Because I have a funny little southern type of accent. I don't know what's happening tonight. I am from Tennessee. Am I saying it correctly? Morrow?
Yes.
Okay, good. I just want to make Morrow.
I was gonna say you
Sure.
sound like a cat.
I know it's terrible. And then we also are joined by Robert Hinds, our wonderful, fabulous referee, and he does so many wonderful things for MMA. I'm sure the two of you know each other.
Oh yeah. How's it going?
Excuse me. I thought this would be a fun interview to have both of you guys on.
Pleasure to be on. Outside of having an outstanding first name, Rob and I actually go way, way, way back to the days when rules were just coming about. I can't even tell you how many times I've had the privilege of reffing this guy. He's unbelievable.
I've seen some of your fights. You're a pretty amazing fighter. I'm pretty excited to have you on tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You just had a fight, did you not? You had the bare knuckle, correct?
Yes. Down in Florida for a bare knuckle fighting championship.
How was that? I heard that was really exciting. I mean, I didn't even know that they were still having it. Back before I got sick 8 years ago, it was BKB, and now it's something different. So, tell me, what was it like?
It was great. It was a total different experience. I come from the striking background. That's more of my forte from kickboxing, and had to transition into the MMA and get used to the wrestling. And then now I can take all that out and just let my hands go. So I still have that striking discipline to use. And then just going bare knuckle, just flesh and bone, that's it. Total different experience. It was fun. And I'll be back. I got a 3-fight contract with the promotion, and it's constantly growing. It's only been around for 2 years now. And this was one of their big shows that they just had. And they're stacked with Paige Van Zandt, Chris Liebman's last fight. A whole bunch of UFC fighters have been getting in, from Chris Lights Out Lytle to Leonard Garcia has a fight coming up. A whole bunch of guys from the UFC. Which is awesome.
Now, I have to ask you, because a couple of shows ago we were talking about what fighters get paid. I would hope that you guys get paid more than what you would get paid in MMA. Am I correct? Please tell me that's so. Otherwise, I'm going to be calling somebody.
It is a little different. It's about the same price, but you get more of you get a flat rate rather than a show purse and then a bonus purse. Like a win bonus.
Yes.
Compared to how MMA went. So that just takes a little getting used to, but they do give incentives for like knockout of the night, fight of the night, things like that. They want you pushing the action and coming into the thing. It's like glorified street fighting almost.
Wow. I couldn't imagine getting hit in the face. Like, well, I haven't. I'm a girl and I like my face. But I just couldn't imagine. Now, I could brawl. I could definitely beat up somebody if I wanted to, and I have. But my face. I couldn't do my face.
Money maker.
My money maker.
Like, I'm expected to get punched in the face eventually. It's going to happen. but I haven't been punched in the face yet, so I'm not quite sure what to be expecting. You know,
Not gloves.
yeah, like
knuckle
straight
out
knuckle,
face.
you know.
Does it so Rob, does it automatically when somebody gets hit in the face, do they automatically get a cut or a gash
Oh,
in
yeah.
their face? How many hits does it
How
take
does
to
that work?
cut somebody open?
No, I mean, like, I've got a lot of scar tissue from a lot of years in the sport from taking, whether it's kicks or knees or elbows or you ground and pound. You know, you get hammer fists and things like that. Those are our tools to actually inflict that type of damage and try to open up wounds and make them open. But for standing up and actually doing the bare knuckle, yeah, you get some gashes because it's all it is bone on bone. So it all depends on where you hit, how you hit, and that person. Like one of the bloodiest fights that they had was on the show that I was on, and that was two chicks going at it, and man, they went to war. And I'm looking at the blood while I'm in there, like, wow, this blood.
Oh.
You like, am I next?
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, oh my god, these two girls battled it out.
That's like at that point, it's like a meat grinder, right? Because I mean, blood's just going everywhere. You know, blood, spit, and hopefully not tears.
What got you into this? Like, how did you get yourself started in this?
Well, that long time ago, I started was basically just street fights, and then I've always wanted to be a kickboxer and stuff, and I was having kids coming out of high school, and I needed the discipline, and I went to the Marine Corps, but I had a criminal history, and I got honorable discharge from the Marine Corps, and I knew I needed the discipline, so I went into the kickboxing, and then Rob Hinds will tell you it's from my kickboxing days it started getting harder to find kickboxing fights where you could go every weekend and fight MMA, you know?
Yeah.
There was always a show back before the commission came in, and that's what I did as an amateur. I'd go every weekend and fight. I had 6 fights in a week, you know, like, which is crazy. And but for the safety and stuff like that, you know, the commission got involved in 2008, and basically just to help out by doing the drug test and making sure everybody's following those type of guidelines to make the sport safe for everybody. But then I've done that for years, and I love kickboxing. And then this bare knuckle came out, and I remember the tournament they had was a heavyweight tournament. And I'm looking at the card like, I knocked out like 3 of the 8 guys in the tournament. Like, why am I not in this? Like, I need to be in this. So I was reaching out, bugging the promotion. Like, I need on there. I need to do this. And I love it. And this is where I'm going to finish my career is bare knuckle. I'm going to become champ and defend it, and then end up calling it quits after a little bit, you know?
So
I love it.
I got a
That's
question
awesome.
for you because it just kind of circling back to our last guest. She had made a comment to where she said that bare knuckle is like essentially like the last step in like a fighting career. Like you go through like all the different things like boxing, MMA, and whatnot, and then that's the very last thing. And then you'd like, I'm assuming you retire after that, but. Is it? Yeah. Do you agree with that? Is that kind of just this is it, and then after that you're done, or would you ever like go back to?
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that statement, just due to the fact that there's a lot of different things. For one, you don't want to start in bare knuckle and then try getting into MMA and other sports because you're limited on your discipline, and then you're opening yourself up to get all these wounds because you're taking on bare knuckle, where you're gonna get all the gashes on your face and things like that, and then you're gonna try to go do MMA and kickboxing, but now you got all the scar tissue. so it's going to be harder. And then you got to transition into the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and wrestling and kickboxing and all the other aspects. And then if you look at a lot of the other fighters that have been transitioning from MMA into it, they're like Leonard Garcia. Chris Lieben just had his last fight on it. A lot of the older fighters are coming down to do this and finish their career here. And a lot of it too is the rounds are shorter. You only got 5 2-minute rounds. Now I'm getting older, and I know practice and
You're freezing. You're freezing.
Hello?
sparring for 5 minutes.
You're frozen, Robert.
What happened?
You're moving in slow motion. Robert?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Did we lose?
Yeah, he's totally frozen on my screen too, and I can't hear him anymore.
Oh no!
What happened? He like slowly faded out. I'm like, no.
Maybe Steve will be able to bring him back in if he falls. So let me ask you this, Rob. So is refereeing for MMA different than bare knuckle? Is that going to be a total different training, or is it going to be the same thing?
The basic mechanics of refereeing, what you're looking for and all those things, it's basically the same. You know, your positioning, your motion, what you're looking for. But because they're different sports with different rules, different things allowed and not allowed, there's a quite a bit of a different mindset that goes into it. You know, if I referee boxing or bare knuckle or kickboxing or MMA, I actually have almost a different mindset going into each one. The only common factor is looking for that damage, looking to help out the fighter if they need to be helped out. Outside of that, the rules are different, the expectations are different, so the mindset needs to be a little bit different.
Will we ever see you ref a bare knuckle?
I hope so, man. You know, I actually got invited to do one in Wyoming in 2019, and I was already booked for another show, so I couldn't do it. That's been my only offer so far. But absolutely, you know, I love combat sports. I'll referee any combat sport that's out there, for sure.
Be nice for you to referee Robert.
Well, I'll tell you what. I've had the privilege. I've refereed Rob as an amateur kickboxer, as a pro kickboxer, as an amateur MMA, pro MMA, in the local levels, the mid levels, the high levels. I've had the privilege of refereeing Rob throughout his entire career, and I think it's very cool, Rob, especially for you, closing out such a great career with bare knuckle, because honestly, that's where you belong, dude. That's, Rob Morrow and bare knuckle, they're like hand in hand. So
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Rob's loved punching people in the face for a long time, and now he gets to do it without gloves, so that's even better for him.
There was a question. Are you going to try to get on?
Thank you. I agree.
Are you going to try to get on the March 13th card?
That's my birthday.
I know, it is your birthday. Robert?
Can you hear us? Is he frozen again?
Oh my gosh, is he? Can you hear us, Robert? Wait, you're moved a little bit. Can you hear
Morrow,
us?
can you hear us?
I can hear you now.
Okay, there we
I
go.
can only hear you though.
Which one, Rob or me?
Yep. It might be.
Can you hear us, Rob? It's okay.
Can you hear me, Mr.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Can you hear him, Rob?
Okay.
Robert?
Yeah, I can hear him now.
I can hear you though.
Okay. Hey, Rob.
I have to jump back and put him back down.
Oh, is he gonna hop back in?
He might have to, yeah. It's the March 13th. Robert,
Hold
can
up
you
a
hear
pic-
us?
I was saying,
You're
hold up.
really frozen, I think. I just see your thumb.
Are you sure it's the 13th?
Yeah, he said the 13th.
19th. That's the Garcia card. I think they need.
Oh, so
That
he was
one?
wrong about whoever it was that asked the March 13th. I don't think there's one on that date, Steve.
So no, yeah, it's this one. The next is
Is it the 15th?
so 19th of Friday.
The 19th? Is the next bare knuckle?
Not that I know.
Yeah, I didn't think to see.
It's Leonard. There's Elmore.
It says March
This is
13th in Mississippi. But the next one is
I'm on a bare knuckle page.
oh, the 19th. That's weird.
Is this like updated?
Yeah, because
No, we'll have to ask him when he comes back. Hopefully he'll be able to come back on.
Oh, so that's
So you,
They're in order.
that must be
They're
exciting to
not
be able to watch fighters grow and excel and succeed. That's just amazing that you've actually refereed him for that long. That's a long time.
It's, now I can say it's one of my favorite things. When you're newer doing it and everybody's coming up together, it's a lot of fun. But seeing guys like Rob go through everything he's gone through, and to still be here at a high level and now competing in bare knuckle, it's great. There's guys like that have been around forever, like Clay Guida. I refereed Clay's very first fight.
Is that where they got him out the crowd?
Pardon?
Is that where
Oh,
they got him out of the crowd?
Oh yeah, he wasn't on the fight
He
card.
wasn't supposed to fight at all.
His
Wait,
brother
he wasn't
Jason
supposed to
was
fight
on the
at all?
card.
Listen, yeah.
Yeah, his brother Jason Guida was on the card, and somebody fell out near the 155-pound mark, and Clay said, "I got basketball shorts in my car. I'll be right back," and got in there.
I remember.
You can do that?
Wow.
No,
It's just
nowadays,
kinda like,
now you can't. I mean,
you
amateur. I think they used to get someone off the street here and there.
Yeah,
Like 200.
street
Wait, who
brawl.
is this
Yes.
guy? Who's this
You
guy?
know what show we're talking about.
He said, "Hold on." But yeah, most of the time.
This was a long time ago, guys. A long time ago.
All right, so it's not something that's gonna happen nowadays.
Yeah, you can't. do
No. No,
But that was
hopefully
cool.
not.
That's such a cool story. Like you, all right, you got shorts?
Yeah.
Let's
All
go.
right, let's go.
Come on, you got a ponytail? Put your hair up.
Are you in shape? Yeah, come on.
And
You
now
know
look at
what?
him.
To be honest with you guys, it happened all the time. Even
Oh,
back when I was fighting, we would just come together in a group, and there were no matchups. They would just say, "Okay, you two look like you would be good together. You two are going to fight, and you two, you seem like you're near the same weight, so you two are going to fight." And
wow.
and then of course, there are people that don't show up. So a lot of times we had volunteers. Clay was a wonderful volunteer, and look what happened.
Yeah. I know his brother didn't go as far, but his brother wasn't bad either. His brother had some.
I'll tell you what, man. The Guidas are tough dudes.
Oh, dude.
They'll throw down there anytime. Everybody, their dad, their mom, they're down to throw down. So.
Yeah, those guys are always ready. I remember when I met.
Did you?
I met Clay at the Bellator event. I believe it was in Hammond. I think it was in Hammond at the the casino. And I met Clay backstage. And he's funny. He's comical. He's very comical, believe it or not. He's hilarious.
Runs MMA stop, which I think Robert Morrow right here messes with. My good buddy is Danny Moraney. We trained at Team No Ego for years. So, and then Danny Aguirre too, which you probably know of. So, yeah, those are my Team No Ego buddies, years back with Dennis Hughes and everything. So, MMA Stop's awesome, man. A lot of cool people, great little family there and shit, man. Open for everybody. So, it's real cool there.
Super clean.
Yes.
At least it was when I was doing interviews back
Still is, yeah.
in the day.
Still
It's super clean. Super clean.
It's because they take care of their stuff.
Yeah.
Good MMA stop.
I
All
want,
good people.
yeah, very good people. I've been to so many gyms and I really have not had any bad encounter with anyone or a bad vibe about any particular gym. Everybody was pretty good. I mean, I take that back. I do have a story. There was.
Name's about to get
Yeah,
fired.
no, I'm not
no
gonna drop the
names,
name,
but-
but I know Rob knows. I
I-
think he's gonna know what I'm talking about. Where they just kind of pop up an event. Hey, come on out! And it was like I showed up and it was really bad, like
This is the
broken
one-
wood on the floor, and
You
like
told me about this one time.
the ring girl was wearing like I don't know, that one piece Batwoman type outfit,
Ring
and I'm
women
like,
are
what the hell did I
hilarious.
just
I've
enter?
seen
Like,
some
what's
good
going
ones.
on? And I every now and then I get some weird tweets saying, "Hey, I got another show. Would you want to be a ring girl?" No, I
Yeah.
don't want to be a ring girl.
This-
I'll pass that
This
stage.
is the show where they asked you to be a ring girl,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
When you went there?
Yeah,
Okay,
they're like,
all right.
"Oh yeah, we want you to hop in." I'm like, no, not
You
doing
should have done
that.
it for shits
Sorry.
and giggles. Yeah.
No, I was there to do
You did-
interviews. That's what I loved, and I did the ring girl thing. I did that one time, and I was like,
No.
not for me.
No.
I just felt like there was something more for me to do in MMA instead of not knocking the ring girls. Okay, some of those ring girls are rocking it.
You didn't
Okay,
want the eyes like they did.
right. It just
Did-
wasn't for me. I wanted to do journalism. I wanted to do the backstage thing. I wanted to get into the gritty and find out what happens, with a fighter's mind. And like, that was the thing that intrigued me the most about fighters was just the tenacity. Like, you're just so disciplined. And so your mental game is like fearless. I don't even know how to explain it. But I couldn't get in the cage and want to like, hey, look at a couple of blows to my head. I can't do it. I couldn't do it. Now, if I had to, defend myself, I'm going to defend myself for sure.
Or at least die trying,
Yeah.
like
Exactly. But I hope that I wanted to ask you, Robert, and I am friends with Lorenzo Hunt too, and I was like, oh, I didn't know he fought. Those two fought, and so what did you think about your fight with him? How was it? Because I'm hearing he's gnarly, like he's just beastly. I don't know how to explain it, but I've heard through the grapevine that he's just, I don't know how to explain it. But how was your fight? What did you think about your fight with him?
The fight with him went pretty well as planned, as far as how we trained for it. He's a shorter fighter. He's stocky, and he swings wild. He's got the name Juggernaut, and it's for that reason. I mean, he's
Little shorty style, like it was like a wrestler just
swings
throwing.
wild. So I've been working a lot with guys in the area like Daniel James, Tony Johnson, Adama Asumanu, to get my boxing and stuff like that going. And then all the guys up at MMA Stop, MTC, One Fitness over in Elgin, just working on the boxing itself, and Groves Boxing in Joliet, and just trying to perfect everything. So with the fight that Lorenzo Hunt and I had, so our game plan was to try to take it to the last round, make it a long, drawn-out fight. Because I can go the distance. Back in August, I went 26 minutes a fight. And then I've been in the championship rounds where I've had to go 25 minutes too. So I had no problem with my cardio and things like that. And then I can see, because of my experience, this was my 99th fight, I can see things, I can telegraph pretty good, And so how the fight went, first, second round, it was just stick and move. And third round, I ended up dropping him, but the referee ended up seeing it as a slip, which was Dan Mergliata, MMA ref. And which, whatever, I don't let that stuff bother me. So stick and move. And same thing in the fourth round. And then the last 10 seconds comes on, and I'm getting a little not flat-footed, but relaxed. It's the last 10 seconds of the fourth round. And Lorenzo ended up rushing in, got me up against the ropes, caught me on the jaw. He ended up dropping me. And then while I'm down, I caught myself while I was down. I took 2 shots while I was down, which MMA, I would have been over. But this was boxing, so I shouldn't have been able to take any shots while I'm down. Before the ref was able to, give me my 10 count, and then the 10 count didn't go good. I actually watched the fight just to make sure that I heard what I did. So I ended up pulling it up on my phone in the locker room after the fights because the referee, when he was counting, he went from 2 and then he jumped all the way up to 6 on a 10 count. Well, you're supposed to get 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 10. Well, it went from 2 to 6, 7, 8, and then he waved his hands that the fight was over. So I don't agree with that because it was very end of the round. I do get my 10-second. I was still coherent. I knew what he was saying. I was responding with, I'm good to fight. I said it twice, and he called the fight. But I would have been able to have my recovery time. I would have had the minute in between. And then the 5th and final round for what we put together for our game plan was that was the round that I was going to knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Rob, what do you do? What do you do in that case, Rob, when you have something like that happen and a fighter's not happy with how it was refereed? Is there anything he can do?
Well, there's a lot of things we can do. Much like the fighters review footage of their fights, and the things they did well, the things they thought they could have done better. If you're really a good referee, if you're really dedicated to what you're doing, you're going to go back and review your work as well. And one of the things that I think that the public doesn't have an idea of, and actually a lot of fighters don't, there have actually been times to where I felt I made a mistake during the fight, and I would go to the athletic commission and let them know. And if the fighter, had a dispute or they wanted to refute the call, there have been times to where, I've kind of stood up and said, yeah, you know what, I didn't handle that quite the way I should have. Sometimes it helps the fighter, sometimes it doesn't. It's definitely an integrity move. Most referees will not. They'll know themselves that they made a mistake, and hopefully they'll fix it and move on. But there are very few referees that would actually stand up and admit it and then try to help the fighter. But at the end of the day, it's up to the athletic commission how they're going to handle that dispute.
Would you dispute that, Robert, or would you just let it go, and would you do a rematch with him?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for. If I can dispute it, I'll dispute it. The fight's already called. It is what it is. So it's kind of, I don't know, it'd be kind of hard to dispute it now. But yeah, if I could send in a letter or however I can go about that so we can review the footage, because I've reviewed multiple times and stuff and seen how I don't think things went as way they should have. I'll dispute it. And yeah, I'm already looking for a rematch. I don't even want the money. I just want to knock the guy out.
That's awesome.
I've already talked to my team. My boxing has come a long way. It took 4 rounds to finally be able to even tag me. I was staying so elusive. But like I said, I'm not taking nothing away from him. He dropped me. There's no doubt about that. I made the mistake of letting that happen, to let him get close to do that. But no, I'm going for a knockout. This is for bare knuckle. This isn't mixed martial arts. Mixed martial arts, you have the nice. Everybody's respectful. At the end of the day, you shake hands, buy the guy a drink or whatever. The bare knuckle, this is basically street fighting. So I guess it's going back to the old Rob ways, I guess. For anybody that out there that knows me knows that that's not good at all.
So the sportsmanship is a lot different with bare knuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because usually, most of the fights I've seen, you've seen them shake hands or good job or next time, sometimes you get the respect and sometimes you've seen some crazy disrespect go on. So it is different. You answered my question because I was going to ask that question, like, is there a difference with that? But now we know the answer to that question. What's the next one? Because we're kind of disputing when the next
says 19th
knuckle.
on there.
Yeah, we're looking at it says the 19th, but yet there was a question in the audience that said, would you take the March 13th card? Are you trying to get on the March 13th card? But I'm not sure if maybe I can't see from here. Was it the 13th?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a March show which is in Biloxi,
Mississippi. That's
yeah.
the one. Are you going to try to get on that card?
I cannot because they ruled that my fight was a knockout, so I'm under a 60-day automatic suspension. But it's April 16th, I believe, is their next Florida card. I'm capable of fighting on that one, which I've already reached out to. So.
Do you think you'll be able to fight him Hunt again in that one? Do you think they'll put him on the card?
I don't know what they have in store. I've reached out. It's up to the matchmakers and their promotion to handle that from there. I've been in this for a long time. I'm open to anybody they throw at me, but end of the day, I'm going for Hunt.
I love it. Going for the Hunt. I love it. I definitely look forward to the rematch because, the fight that you just had with him was a great fight. I'd like to see a rematch. So I'm down for the Hunt. I'd like to see what happens. What do you think, Rob?
I'm down for any fight anytime, but Rob and Lorenzo are like two massive veterans in combat sports. I would love to see them fight 10 times if their bodies and minds could do it. So I vote yes, of course.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that next fight. What do you guys think?
That's
gonna be awesome.
With Rob. Let's go.
Let's show
them, give the people what they want, and let's show them what the right outcome and everything, and how it should be.
Now, how do you know Tony Scarpone?
I was trying to. I went in a little stage where I was going to do some pro wrestling because he did Blitz Pro Wrestling.
Yes,
so
I covered a couple of those events.
Yeah, I went over and helped put together the rings when he would have an event and try to train in that too. I'm always open, get into some pro wrestling or whatever.
That's awesome because I did one of his events. I covered a couple of them I did, and I became really good friends with the disc jockey because he played really great music. So I was the one dancing in the corner. But I brought a little girl, Taylor the Terror. Remember, Rob?
Yeah.
The little girl I did. Yeah, I brought her with me to the Blitz event. And I was like, I brought her backstage. She got to meet Go Dust and Jerry and a couple of the other guys, and it was amazing. Like I did quite a few things for Tony, and I was just curious how you guys became friends. I'm like, Tony hit me up and he's like, hey, you need to interview this guy. And I was like, okay, sure. I'll go ahead and send him an inbox. I'm like, but it's like really short notice. So pardon my rudeness. No.
He didn't like my my nickname for wrestling was going to be Rob Awesome. He didn't really like that. I'm like, I don't know, Rob Awesome is pretty cool. He's like, no, it's not.
I think that's awesome. Oh my goodness. Well, do you have a nickname for MMA or bare knuckle? What do they call you?
What's that?
What do they call you? Do you have a nickname for MMA?
The Destroyer.
Oh, the Destroyer.
I like that one.
Now, how did you come up with that one? Who named you the Destroyer?
A long time ago, because I've went kickboxing. I don't know if Rob Hinds remembers, but I had White Lightning, I had Short Fuse, Time Bomb, and then the one that stuck was the Destroyer. I was with Hill Clan Extreme out in Joliet, and we were fighting Pure Force. I started getting into from the kickboxing. I was doing the MMA shows, and I'm like, oh, I need to get into MMA. So then I started doing the Brawl at Bourbon Streets. And
I remember those.
White Lightning wasn't as cool. So I'm like, oh, Conan the Destroyer is pretty cool because Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah.
And he had the movie Conan the Destroyer. And I'm like, and then if you listen to Joe Rogan, anytime he talks about this guy's a destroyer, whoever he talks about. So I'm like, dude, that's got to be my nickname. I'm a destroyer. You know, I come for the knockout. I come to finish people. You know, so yeah, it's stuck ever since. You know.
Joe is one of my favorite funny guys. He's fun to watch. I don't know. Have you ever watched one of his shows? Like, I think he was on there for 3 or 4 hours.
Oh,
he had
shrooms.
He had some shrooms. And
he was on there with Post Malone.
And he was just rambling about weird subjects. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I'm like, how do you?
I know, but he's so funny. I love listening to him. So if you can't, oh my goodness! So you said you have three fights signed with Bare Knuckle. Yes. What will you do after those 3 fights? Will you continue?
I look to continue because I want to get the belt. Anything that we do as fighters, we want to be the best out there. You know, I wanted to go to the UFC, but I started off my career leaving work and going to fights, trying to fight the top pros, and with like little training or sometimes no training, or just leaving work. Well, you can't do that if you're trying to make a career out of it. I was trying to rush things, and so I kind of ruined the way with my record, because that's what they look at. I ruined my record with that. And every time I'd string a whole bunch of fights together, something happened, and I'd end up like, I still need to fight because I need the money. I got 5 kids, so sometimes it comes down to just fighting for the money, you know. And I finally got offered to fight for the title because I went from kickboxing as an amateur and got championships, and then I got into the MMA and went pro, and then you want to be the champ. So I went out there and became the champ at a couple different shows and defended that. And then last year, I finally was like, I was doing kickboxing, and I finally got offered to do kickboxing. So I did XFN's heavyweight tournament for kickboxing out in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And I went, and I'm like, I'm not leaving without a kickboxing championship. So I did that, and I became champ. And then all the years experience, and then I work construction. I'm a laborer. Work with my body all day, and then I go do it at night, doing the sport or teaching or whatever I'm doing at night. And my back, I have 2016, right before my Bellator fight with Adam Masajewski, I got a L5-S1 herniation, and I thought my career was over, but I fought through it. I ended up going into that fight, and I won. And then I've been rehabbing ever since. And then right before my last bare knuckle fight in 2019, I had 4 more discs go out. And I've just been rehabbing that and taking things easier, not wrestling as much. So as far as the MMA, talking to my wife and my team, I think that's out of the question. It's not worth hurting my back or having a lot of disability. So probably 30, 25-1 is where I'm going to stand with my MMA record. But I'm going to stick with the striking. I still got some left in me. And like I said, my next goal is to become the bare knuckle champion. So that's where I'm headed.
And you are there already. I can see it. I can feel it. They always say when you think it and you dream it, you think it and you do it, you're already there.
Yes.
I'm so excited. Are you excited, Rob?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think when Rob kind of tuned out before he came back on, I was talking about all the things that, you know, I've known Rob for and things that Rob has gone through. here's, and Rob's known me a long time, so he knows I'm just going to be totally honest. Here's the good and the bad thing about Rob. Rob will fight anybody, any day, on any amount of notice, and he'll either fight them at light heavyweight or heavyweight, doesn't matter. The good and the bad is that Rob was able to gain a lot of good experience right away. He was also fighting really, really tough guys, back to back to back to back to back. And eventually what that does, each time you go in the cage or the ring, you leave something in there. So, the fact that Rob's still this far in his career and fighting at the level he's at, we don't hear about that much anymore. But, that's the good and the bad. The good is he gained a ton of experience, fought a ton of tough dudes, would fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. But then, like he said, when you try to get into an organization like the UFC or Bellator or even Glory Kickboxing and stuff, they look at your record. They normally don't look at the tough fights you had or the battles you had or even your skill level. They just look at your record and they say, well, we'll either take them or not. And, that's one thing that sometimes fighters younger in their careers, it does work against them a little bit. But, Rob's been a champ in many organizations. I'm going to continue to probably be the bare knuckle champ. I'm rooting for that. And, that's just what our sport is. It's, it's the hurt game. There's no way around it. And the harder you play the hurt game and the longer you play it, your cards kind of unfold as you go along.
I forgot to ask you guys a quick question. I was just reminded about our poll question. So I'm going to ask both of you guys. Are athletes' OnlyFans pages taboo? Agree or disagree? What do you guys think about athletes having OnlyFans pages?
I didn't hear you.
OnlyFans pages.
So are athletes' OnlyFans pages taboo? Agree or disagree?
Yes.
I'll go first. I guess whatever pays the bills, I guess, right?
Are you going to start an OnlyFans page?
He's like, I'm thinking about it.
Show off your battle wounds.
Yeah.
We just had Jayme on, and she said, well, I have an OnlyFans page. I didn't even know she had one, and she had said it, and I was like, oh well. So that it just, would you start one? Would you do it if somebody wanted to look at your toes all day?
He's like,
They could pay for it.
My toes or Rob's
your toes or your toes.
Anybody's toes.
Well,
Anybody's toes.
if I decided to do something like that, they'd have to open like a geriatrics division. Where it's like, if you want to see an old man sit around and sip coffee and play with a black Labrador retriever, great. I'm all about it. But, no, we'll leave that stuff for the athletes and the younger people.
I don't know how they do it, but there's some women out there that make six figures, and I'm like,
yeah,
I think
just
I'm
showing
in the
their
wrong
feet.
business.
Just showing their feet. That's what I need to start doing.
But she did bring up a good point, though. She's like, if you're putting stuff on OnlyFans, just know that they could cut, splice, and you're going to be posted somewhere.
I was going to say that none of that stuff is secure. Like, because they say it's secure, but it really isn't, because you can screenshot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's all kinds
There's
of
so much shit you can do
video
now.
recording you can do. I don't know if I'm really comfortable with an OnlyFans. I've had several people say, "Oh, Racheal, you need to do an OnlyFans page." I'm like, "Well,
I
what
do
does
it for
that
shits
consist
and giggles.
of?" I know. I'm like, I can babble all day, but I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm gonna be pretty boring. You can watch me polish my nails or something.
Hey,
I'm gonna be up there just posing. That's it. It's gonna be.
See, you've got the guns for it though. You got the body.
Yeah.
You got it all going on.
Oh wait.
Oh, nobody wants to pay to see this. You know what though? If they do want to pay to see this, I'll sit online for a while. $50, no problem.
$50 an hour. I don't know. That's insane. insane. Like, is it a member? I'm like, is it a membership? Like Patreon is like a membership, a monthly membership.
Right?
Yeah,
I don't
they
know
do
how it
like membership for like 30 days or something. But see, like, I don't know if there was a rumor or not, but I know like Diego Sanchez did one with like his coach, and they were showing wrestling moves or different moves.
Yeah.
So I guess it's not all a nudity type of ordeal,
So
but
it's
when
like
people
a-
think of OnlyFans, that's what they think of.
It's like a R-rated YouTube then, right? So you could do. There could be nudity and there could be other
some
things too.
interesting
So
things on there. But I like that idea. I mean, for you guys, as fighters, could raise money by doing moves. I'll pay $30 and I learn how to do some moves on a mat. I sure would do it. I mean, it's something to think about.
And
I mean, now there's more
due to-
opportunities, right, Rob? We were just talking about there's so many
I was
more
gonna say,
opportunities for
that's-
fighters to do things now.
that's a good platform, especially now with everything going on. I can see, a lot of fighters going to like OnlyFans or doing an online course basically on it. So
Right,
there's not
talking.
the face-to-face,
I mean, I
aspect
remember that
of it.
whole like Telegram thing. I don't know, like they hit me up and they said, okay, we're gonna put your profile on our website, and people are gonna pay for you to send them a happy birthday message. I'm like, really?
Okay.
They
Happy
want-
birthday! Where's my
I
money?
could do that.
Where's my
And
money?
so now it's the OnlyFans, and there's such like this theme about OnlyFans that it's all about that kind of stuff. But there's other stuff on OnlyFans. I think if you want to raise money, I mean, for training or I mean, back in the day, Rob, sponsorships were awesome. People could sponsor fighters. You were getting money. Now it's not as. It's so
Wasn't it like harder back then
controlled.
though? Like, isn't
No,
it?
that is hard.
Because it like
No.
sponsorships wasn't as prevalent then as it is now. Then, right?
Well, you know what? It was still
You
to
see
be
his
had,
face.
but it was all local businesses. We weren't talking like Pepsi or
Yeah.
Apple or anything.
Yeah.
We were talking more like the local heating and air conditioning company or a restaurant that
Okay.
wanted to sponsor a fighter. So the money's smaller, but sponsorships really have always been a part of it, and they would sponsor amateur and pro athletes. The dollar amounts are just smaller, and it's not the way we think of sponsorship today. It's like now it's like Harley Davidson and Modelo and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
We're talking about Betty's Breakfast Restaurant that gave Rob $500 for training or something like that. Rob, you could probably speak more to that.
Yeah, how does that work for you, Robert? With sponsors?
What's that?
Sponsors. Do you have sponsors? Do you find it easier to find sponsors now, or is it more difficult?
Easier now. Back in the day, it was like, I remember fighting for T-shirts. It's like you go get like a Kubed T-shirt or.
Oh my God, I remember that. Yes, that's how I got started because I helped him out I helped his company out. His girl didn't show up.
With the fist and.
Yes.
ED.
Yes.
I remember.
I was
fighting
selling
for
his T-shirts.
Fighting the guy that owned Milano Bread Bakery would hook me up with some money here and there to go to the events local, or you'd get like people from the bar, so you'd get like a local bar company to sponsor you. But now it's easier, especially now I'm fighting on bigger shows and I have more of an established record and acknowledgments to where I'm fighting on TV. Pay-per-views and things like that, to where I can reach out to these nutrition places, even by work and things like that. Any little bit helps the fighters with training because what a lot of people don't see is all the clean dieting we have to do, the driving to the gym, the time away from our family. That we never get money back for that stuff. You know what I mean?
No.
Yeah.
Any little bit helps if you're trying to follow your dreams, no matter what it is.
Yeah, it's. I think it's what just about anything that doesn't have a direct monetary payout. Wrestling, bodybuilding for sure. It's people definitely don't get into it for the money, and the biggest misconception I had when I first thought about getting into it was, you're gonna get paid, with these sponsorships, and it's gonna be easy and whatnot, and you're gonna get paid at a show, and it's not really all that true. Like it's when you get higher up and you're like really really good, that top 10%, that's where all the money is at. But for the majority of people, which is what the other bottom like 90% of guys that nobody really knows about, it's kind of like, okay, you got to figure it out. All right, you're gonna be hustling just to be able to compete.
Yeah.
And you're not guaranteed a first place prize or a win on a fight, or so it's a lot of your own momentum propelling you forward on this, and it gets tough. It gets tough.
Yeah, a lot of the young up and comers and stuff like that from MMA style teaching that. I teach them. You guys got to get out there and build a resume, make yourself presentable. Get out there and fight on these shows, build an experience like what you did. Like I've got a high finish ratio. Knockouts and submissions. I do Naga tournaments, and I'm a black belt, or whatever it is. You got to build a resume and then turn that in for your sponsorship letter, and then build it from there. If you don't know a lot of people, going to these places, that's how you get out there and get the representation that you need.
Now, you're local? You're here, right?
Here,
yeah,
in Illinois.
I'm by Joe.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Okay, because Rob, so many Roberts. There's a lot of popularity with Robert names, but Robert Weiss, it's Weiss, right?
At GNC.
At GNC. So Destin just got sponsored through GNC in Batavia, but he also owns the one in Tinley Park and Morris, I believe, right?
Yeah, Morris and Tinley.
He's going to be on next Friday. And so maybe that's something that you can connect with. We could connect you with Robert. And I mean, supplements are expensive. We both
it's ridiculous.
So
it's insane.
It would be great to connect you with him, and he sponsors a lot of athletes, and so maybe that'd be something you want to check out.
I think he sponsors my neighbor for bodybuilding, Kim Jontis.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
She lives like right behind my house.
Yeah, I mean, she's always flexing.
You're kidding me.
She's getting ready to compete for her first show.
She's getting ready for a big competition.
Yeah, she's like amazing.
Yeah, we were sponsored together by Click Nutrition and Joe.
Yes.
And, everybody knows what happened with that guy.
Yeah.
So I actually
sad.
To Neves Nutrition in Lamont. That's my new nutrition sponsor.
Okay.
But Kim was telling me about GNC out there, and then I had John Parrish, who's also known as Jax from Mortal Kombat. He was telling me about Capital Nutrition in Mokina.
They're a great company too.
Yeah, or Protein Headquarters. I had all these different companies, but I ended up going with Neves. It's literally 5 minutes down the road. So, and a good company, all clean product, and they sell local brands too, for like Pride Nutrition and things like that have been.
Absolutely.
I like to support local as much as I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
I'm the same way. Optimum Nutrition. I knew quite a few people with Optimum, and oh my gosh, have they grown over the years? So many. They're huge now. It's amazing. And all he does is travel around and like introduce products to people all over the world. They're like, wow, that's what you do. I want to get paid to do that. That would be fun.
It's a fairly easy
taste test my product.
Yeah.
But that's so funny. What a small world.
It is. It's small.
She's your neighbor.
Yeah, she lives right behind the house. We do me and my oldest daughter, she's 16. We do the obstacle course races with her and
really?
That's awesome.
Yeah, we all do that together just to stay.
You do the latest one? What was it? The one in the snow? I can't remember what it was called.
No, because I had this fight. I was going to, but then I booked this fight, and I told her, "No, I can't do it. It's too close. Within a week."
Okay.
It's too.
Yeah, I gotcha.
You guys are amazing, and I am so excited that you guys both came on. Thank you so much for that.
It was good to see you, Rob. I still, when I'm done fighting, I'm still gonna reach out to you to learn how to ref. so I'm still with the sport.
There you go.
Follow
Yeah.
I was wondering what you were going to do after bare knuckle. That would be a good thing to do.
It was pretty cool, you guys, because actually, I think it might have been at like a Coliseum combat or something. Rob and I were talking in the back room, and you came to me and you're like, "Listen, man, when this is all said and done, I want to learn how to referee, and I'll look you up and stuff like that." So it's cool that you're still thinking about that, and I'm ready when you're ready, brother. But throw those hands until you don't want to throw them anymore. Keep doing that.
Yeah, that's the game plan. Because I've talked to you and then the other Rob Madrigal.
Yes.
There's so many Robs.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, you guys' names.
That's a common name.
And I'm changing
We're all cool.
Yeah.
Some are just older than others, but we're all cool.
Oh my God, you guys are great. And I would love to have you back on, Robert. We would definitely want to, in a couple months, see where you're at and check in with you and get an interview before your next fight. That would be awesome to have you back on again. Yeah. Rob, I know we would have you on again. We're trying to plan.
I'll come on anytime. I always appreciate it. You guys are always amazing. So thank you.
Thank you, you guys. Thanks so much for coming on. Hey, Robert, how can they find you? Yeah, your social media platforms.
Your OnlyFans page.
Yeah, your OnlyFans
page.
You got me on Robert Morrow on Facebook, or The Destroyer Rob Morrow, or Rob Morrow MMA on Instagram.
Cool.
You can find me on there.
What about you, Rob? I know you were on a couple of weeks ago, but let's do a little reminder.
Oh, thanks. If you want, look me up on Twitter. It's at Hinds MMA Referee.
That's perfect. You guys, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'm looking forward to having you on again. You guys have a good weekend.
Thanks, guys. You too. Rob, great to see you, brother.
Always a pleasure to see you.
I love reuniting people.
I will see you guys soon.
Good night, you guys. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks.
See ya.
You guys, that was an awesome 2 hours with 3 special, amazing guests tonight. Our first female fighter. And yes, it's the end of the show, but you got to check out bodycheckwellness.com.
I was going to say,
don't
forget the prompt.
A2D for 20% off. I am so sorry.
20% off.
20% off.
A2D.
What's going twice? Okay.
Sold.
We'll see. You guys are funny.
Hey, you guys.
We got it.
We will see you guys next Friday, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or,
one of those times. Come on.
One of those times. We love you guys. We'll see you next Friday.
That.